simple, but it works. Say bye-bye to each other at year 1. All of these things that we've experienced in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we would have missed out on that. I'm borrowing my husband money to pay the children's school fees. I really find it hard to understand. If it's not in line with our family vision, with our family goals, we can drop it. Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. welcome, and if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Yemi, and this channel is all about inspiring you to own your life, live up to your potentials, and to be your best self. You're wondering what's with this around my chest? Well, I have a 7-month-old baby boy who is refusing to allow me breathe. He's not allowing me rest. Like, he wants to be around me or we're playing together. If he's not around me, he wants us to be playing together, or he's playing with his siblings. He just wants somebody around him. So I just need to be productive. It's been a while since I last uploaded, since I recorded, and I really want to just get back into my creative juice. So that's why I just have to put him on my back. That's the African way of just keeping a baby calm and, just putting them to sleep. So it's working. It's quiet. It's calm. He'll get to sleep soon. So it's also a rainy day today. Talk about being productive as a mom. But let me know if you are a working mom, maybe working from home, stay at home, creative mom, content creator mom, in the comment section. Let me know how you guys are doing it, because man, I just need to get in the zone again. But yeah, that's all. So much rambling, right? Let's just get into the content of today, the video of today. As you can already tell from the title, I will be sharing 9 lessons that I've learned in my 9 years of marriage. Really, 9 years. How time flies. Honestly, it doesn't feel like 9 years with Mr. Right. It feels like it was just yesterday we got married. But yeah, it's been great. God has been faithful. It's been an awesome journey. And I was documenting a few lessons. I was actually just writing down things that I've learned in the past years, and I thought to share the video with you guys. Okay, some of these lessons that I'm going to share, you might already feel like you know these things, but trust me, if you're already married, you can apply some of these lessons in your current situation, in your marriage, and it would really help. It would turn things around positively, significantly. And if you're not yet married, you can just hold on to these lessons, for when you do get married, if that's something you're praying for or you wish for. Okay, so let's just get into the video. I promise not to take so much of your time. Okay, so the first point I have here is marriage is beautiful when done with the right person. Honestly, it sounds cliche. It sounds simple, but that's the honest truth. And it's one lesson that I have learned personally. It's not just because people say it, but it's because I've experienced it. Marriage is beautiful when you're doing it with the right person. And I really, really wish and pray that everyone who is married actually get to say that marriage is beautiful. Because if you're in marriage and you're just enduring and you're just like, okay, I'm still in this for my children, honestly, you're not getting the best of it. You're not getting what God intended for you to get out of your marriage. So I really pray that God turn things around for you. But truly, marriage is beautiful when you are doing it with the right person, because the person you're in marriage with is what makes it a marriage. You might as well be single. You might as well just be doing life by yourself or with a friend, right? And I'm saying this because a lot of people are now scared of marriage just because of the examples we see around. And people would rather be in a long-term relationship, enjoy it, be at peace with it, and not want to get married and not long for marriage. And that's not cool, right? That's not how God intended it to be, right? So I think marriage is a beautiful thing. Don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise. Don't allow another person's experience to make you feel like marriage is not beautiful. Marriage is truly, truly beautiful. I can say that for myself. My marriage has gone through different phases, and I can really say that in spite of it all, marriage is beautiful. And I'm so grateful for my husband, the kind of person that he is. That's why I call him Mr. Right, because he's just right and perfect for me, So, yes, marriage is beautiful. Don't allow anybody tell you otherwise. Just make sure that you find the right person. You pray for the right person. You prepare for yourself for the right person. And trust me, is indeed beautiful. I will share more points, more examples as the points goes on, but I really don't want to take so much of your time, so I will elaborate in other points what I mean. Okay, so let's get to the second one. Now, the second lesson is that who you are can help or destroy your marriage, and the same goes with your spouse, your partner. So you need to identify each other's traits, each other's unique traits on time, and discuss how it impacts your union, your marriage. So I'm going to use an example from my marriage to explain this point, right? So my husband is very driven, right? I'm not as driven as him, although I'm a very ambitious person as well, but I'm not as driven as him. I can have dreams and goals and all of that and still be very relaxed with those dreams, right? But my husband is very driven and can be very critical. Like, he evaluates things critically, right? And it works for him at work. It's very good trait. It's a very good personality. It's a very good strength. And for me, on the other hand, I'm not very confrontational. Like, I hate confrontations. I'd rather let events pass, and just maybe when everywhere is calm, I can then just talk about it in a relaxed way. But I just don't like confrontations, especially as they hot, So, right, these are two distinct and very good qualities, right, if I do say so. And I realized that at some point in our marriage, these qualities had an effect on our marriage. Let's say, for example, my husband is very driven, and at one point, he was always like, oh, do this, do that. Did you know you can do it? For me, it felt like he was being too pushy, right? It was just, especially because I'm a very relaxed person, even with goals. And I also did not communicate the things that I wanted to do with him in that capacity. So it always felt like this girl is just very relaxed, very laid back, very, he used to say I wasn't serious at the time. But I had so much plans, but I never really shared it in that capacity. If I'm talking about it, I'm always so relaxed about it. So he thought, would this girl ever be able to match my energy? And it became too pushy and very critical of things, right? And me, on the other hand, at some point, my husband got tired of him being the first person to come and say, okay, him be the first person to initiate a conversation when there's an argument or when there's a little fight. I wouldn't be the first to do that. But we need to trash things out, right? So our personality, who we were at the time, was just clashing a lot of times. We had to sit down and, talk about things. And I didn't want him to lose that personality, him being driven, him being very critical, because it would help him in other areas of life. But we needed to talk about how to manage it so it doesn't have an adverse impact on our marriage, right? And he also needed to address me not being confrontational, so that it wouldn't be like, it will tire you now if you're always the one going to meet someone to initiate a conversation. At some point you get tired and frustrated, and you'll be like, okay, I don't like, I'm not bothered. So I had to come to that point that I realized that, what, I also need to put in the effort in this area. So sometimes who you are, your personality, your strength, and that's why I did not say strengths or weaknesses. I mentioned traits. It's not like you want to get rid of that particular trait completely, because it might work for you in other areas. But when it comes to your marriage, you need to identify like how those behaviors, how it's impacting your marriage, with your partner, with your spouse. So that's what we had to do, and it really helped. It really helped, and it made our marriage better. So sometimes who you are, and which is why people always say that you need to put in a lot of work on yourself when you're still single. You need to do the work, whatever trauma, whatever negative behavior that you have, you need to just work on it so that it doesn't, affect your spouse, which is very true. So your character, your behavior will have a role to play in your marriage. So you might want to check that and discuss it with your spouse. Lesson number 3 is that marriage is about complementing each other so you can build a life together, not tearing each other down due to your differences. Again, I'm going to use an example to explain this one. Forgive me if it feels like I'm rushing, but it's just because I want to get as much content in a short amount of time. I don't want this video to be super long, honestly, because I feel like people don't sit down to watch super long videos. But let me know in the comments if you would rather I slow down, take my time, and the video be long, or you want me to just get straight to the point and get things rolling. Okay, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so essentially your differences shouldn't tear your marriage down. Rather, it should complement and it should help you build your life together. And I'll use an example again for this one, because we're all different. Even people that were raised by the same parents usually end up with different personalities and characters. So you really have to manage, you really have to, I don't want to use the word manage or endure. You really have to understand each other. You have to accept each other and, work on each other, complement each other basically. An example I would use is my husband and I, we have different money mindsets, okay? If you are an OG on this channel, you would know that I know how to spend money. And my husband, he would rather save before he spend. I would rather spend, save, spend. But I'm getting better now. I am way better now. But that was my personality when I was like in the early years of marriage, right? But even till now, we still have different money mindsets. We have, like, we are so different when it comes to money, not just in spending and saving, but also in giving. So both of us, we know that we want to be generous people, and we are generous people, right? But we have different mindsets. We are so different when it comes to giving. My husband is the kind of person that he would rather give you something in bulk. He would rather give you a large amount of money so that you can set yourself up. He's the kind of person that will teach you how to catch fish in the river, because it doesn't want you coming back to, ask for more, to be dependent on another person. It wants you to be able to stand on your 2 feet, and whatever money is giving you or whatever help, not just financially, he wants you to be able to, do better so that you can help another person. That's his mindset. For me, on the other hand, my own money mindset is that when somebody is in need, give. As long as I have at the time. If someone is in need of maybe a quick 1,000 naira or a quick £100 or a quick 5,000 naira, that's the kind of, I would give in that moment. I'm not all about, giving you a bulk amount of money to set yourself up. I'm just like, you're in need at this moment. How do we get that sorted? That's the kind of person I am. So we were completely different. We are still different. We haven't, we've not become another person just because of our marriage, right? But the fact is that now it used to be a problem, because whenever he's saving to give someone money, I'm like, just give this person something so that the person will be fine. And he'll be like, the person will come back again. And when the person keeps coming back and coming back and coming back for more, it might be frustrating on my part, and on his part is not getting any better. But for me, I'm like, just do. And sometimes when I'm just giving, like small, it'll be like, this thing will amount to something that may end up hurting your finances. So we used to have like some arguments when it comes to like giving, right? So we ended up, talking about it, and we had to understand each other's differences. We really had to talk about, where did that mindset come from? We went way down into, our upbringing, our motivations. Like, we really had an in-depth conversation around it, and we got to understand that, what, we are different in this area, and there's nothing really we can do about it. We just need to complement each other. We then came up with a giving fund. Like, we had to do something about it just so that we're able to manage each other's differences. So sometimes some differences might be a lot more intense than what I just explained, but your differences is not supposed to tear your marriage apart. It's supposed to complement each other. Someone might be a morning person, the other person might be an evening person, which is also the same in my household as well. My husband is a morning person, a nighttime person. I have more energy at night. He has more energy in the morning. It's not that period that I want him to be able to, I want to say, oh, this is something that you must do with me at nighttime. We need to understand each other's differences so that we can complement each other in order to build, together. So that's another lesson I have learned in marriage. Number 4 lesson is that you need to do things together. Again, this might sound cliche, it might sound so simple, but it's actually very important. And I've seen this affect people's marriages. And I can say that this actually built friendship, it built peace, it built trust, and it just kind of created a bond between my husband and I when we did things together, right? We've never really had arguments or any issue with money, except what I just explained with mindset. But and spending and saving, right? But from the get-go, my husband used to tell me how much he made. He used to tell me how much he was earning at the time, and even till now, like, that's not the problem. But I know in some marriages, people would rather have you can sleep together, but you cannot share money together. Like, people do not completely give to each other. I know there are so many reasons why people don't want to do that, maybe because of past hurt experiences and all of that. But I feel like there's a level of intimacy that you would get when you do things together, shower together, sleep in the same room together, like pray together, talk together, gist together, argue together. It builds some kind of friendship, bond, intimacy, trust when you do things together. Honestly, some people, if it feels like it's so simple, but some people don't do things together. And this is different from when you have decided, you have, talked about things that, okay, we'll do things differently, but we're working together. For example, maybe you have decided that, okay, I will be the one handling this responsibility, you handle that responsibility, and in that sense you're not really together in certain things. No, that's not what I mean. In that case, you have discussed it, you have talked about it, and you have come to a conclusion that works for you. For example, in my household, I do the teaching. I teach the kids a lot more with their schoolwork. I do the homeworks, I do the teaching, because I'm a lot more patient than my husband. However, he, on the other hand, is the one that takes the kids out. He takes them to the zoo, to the park. Is a lot more hands-on. I don't enjoy going out with kids because it drains my energy. I like going out with my girls, with my husband, with people, than kids. I don't like that. So he does that. And while he's away, I'll obviously do things in the house. I'm not waiting for him to come back and for us to now start doing it together. And, when I'm teaching the kids, it's also maybe trying to fix dinner just so that we can work together as a team. What I'm saying is that do things together. I know there are people, for example, someone will say, I'm borrowing my husband money to pay the children's school fees. I really find it hard to understand. Like, I really find it difficult to comprehend, to be honest. I feel like you should be able to do things together just because you are one, right? Someone said that when God is blessing the marriage, he's not blessing one person or the other, he's blessing the home. So whether it's coming from you or coming from your partner, it's for both of you. So do things together. It's simple, but it works. I know the bond, the intimacy my husband and I shared when we were doing everything together. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't hold back. Don't hold back and be like, just in case of incasity. I know that's the advice they give a lot of ladies, that have something for yourself. I'm not saying don't have a plan for yourself, but I'm saying that do things, be open in your marriage. Except you are thinking that something may go wrong. And even when things go wrong, just like, even if you know that you've given it your all, right? So just do things together. It breeds love. It breeds intimacy. It breeds trust. That's something I've learned and it works for me. You might take it, you might leave it, but it really has worked for us and I know it. Anyways, the next thing I would say, point number 5 is learn from others, but create your own style. Have a family vision. Have family rituals because it promotes peace even when there is conflict. Imagine not missing anything when you and your partner are not happy. Like, okay, that's the way I wrote it in my notes, right? And I just write things the way it comes to my mind. If you're an OG, you know that already. But the point I'm trying to emphasize here is that you can learn from other people's experiences. You can learn from other people's marriage. You can watch this video and learn from my own lessons as well. But ultimately, create your own style. Do what works for your marriage. Create something unique. And this kind of is a reflection of the previous point. When you do things together, you will be able to understand who you are as a couple. You will know your style. You will know what works for you. And I'll give an example. In my house, our family vision, what we have come up with is that we are leaders in our household, right? We also want to raise leaders. My husband and I want to lead in our respective fields, in our lives, in our own space. We also want our children to lead in whatever sector, in whatever career that they've decided to do. We want them to lead. It doesn't necessarily mean that they must be the president of the country. If they are, that is great, awesome. But whatever space they find themselves, I want them to be leaders. And that's our family vision. So whatever thing that I'm taking from another person, if it's not in line with our family vision, with our family goals, I can drop it. As good as it is, if it doesn't work for us, I can drop it. Even if it's working for another person, as long as it's not working for us and our goals, our vision, our plan, I leave it. Everybody is going to vacation in this area. If it doesn't work for us in that time, I drop it. So as much as you learn from other people, make sure that you are true to your marriage, to your commitments, to your goals, to you people's plan, and most importantly, have a family vision. Honestly, it works. It helps you people to have a sense of direction. It builds love again, because what I've said that we want to be leaders is not something that we just came up with out of the blue. It came from conversations over the year, looking into our own strengths, looking into our traits, looking into our children, looking into so many things. I mean, we're 9 years married. We've done a lot of reflection over the years, and we have come up with this particular idea. And it's because we've done things together. We talk, we argue together, we reflect together. So that's why we've come up with this family vision. So I think it's very important that you learn from others, but you create your own style. Point number 6 is to pray. Pray, pray, pray. That is one lesson that I've learned. This is in fact the most important point, the most important lesson, because I'll get into this later on, but marriage comes in different phases. Like, there are different phases in a marriage. And you can imagine in these 9 years, we've gone through different phases in our marriage. We've gone through a phase of not enough. We've gone to a phase of plenty. We've gone through a phase of, okay, it's now going down. It's gone through a phase of different challenges in the space of 9 years. And one thing that has held us is prayer. I remember the first year of marriage was so intense. There was a lot of things that were just not right. But the fact that God held us in that time, like my husband and I, we talk about it and say to ourselves, like, imagine if we decided to, like, you know what, say bye-bye to each other at year 1. All of these things that we've experienced in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we would have missed out on that. And, we were so thankful to God that He kept us. He kept us, And now that we've seen what year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 has been like, we are so grateful that we had God in our corner. And that's why it's very important to pray. You need wisdom to manage someone else's excesses. You need wisdom to manage someone else's strength. You need wisdom to come together. You need wisdom to be able to create your own style. You need wisdom to manage difficult phases of marriage and even the good phases of marriage. You need wisdom to reflect. You need God in every area of your life. You need God to parent. You need in virtually everything. So it's very important to pray. Pray, pray, and pray. That is a very important lesson that I've learned in marriage. God has been so faithful. God has been really faithful. There are so many people that they put in a lot of effort into their marriage. They did more than I am doing. And, they still have to endure. But I'm so grateful to God for His faithfulness. And yeah, prayer is one very important thing to do in your marriage. That's another lesson. Lesson number 7 is never be judgmental with your husband, with your wife, with your partner, because you need a space. Let me go again. Lesson number 7, never be judgmental with your spouse because you need a safe space for each other for life. It's both of you against the world. And this is very important. It's very important. I learned this because I used to be very judgmental of people, but not like that went a long time ago. I'm one that I'm very opinionated. What I know to be true, what I know to be correct, I hold on to it. And sometimes if you're not going in that line, I'm a bit like, I'm looking at you with one corner of my eye. And my husband as well is also very critical. Like if you're not doing things the way it should be done, sometimes it can be like, So those things have to go. You both need to create a safe space for each other to thrive. You want your home, you want your relationship to be one where if there's something bothering you, even if it's with in every area, even if it's regarding family, you want to be able to talk to each other. It is both of you first. The Bible says a man will leave his family and cleave to his wife. You as the wife also, you don't need to carry some baggage into your marriage. You don't need to, like, it's not important, it's not necessary. Whatever experience that you've gone through in life, those are facts that should help you build an opinion that will help you navigate life, not something that you should hold on to and just stress about with or whatever. So it's very important that you guys have a safe space. If to a large amount, to a considerable amount, we do have a safe space. Like, I feel like now, as opposed to what it was a few years ago, like year 1, year 2, we have that safety in my home. Like, we joke, we laugh about anything. Like, you're able to speak, you're able to talk. You know that, yes, I might react, I might, but it's not because I hate you. It's not because it's just I'm angry at that situation and I will need time to process it. But you will be able to tell me. I will be able to tell you. I mean, like, I laugh about it now because the amount of, the way we are so close and our home is so safe, our union is so safe. I can tell him anything and he can also tell me anything, and we can work together concerning anything, So it's very important that you're not judgmental. Make sure your home is safe for you and your spouse to try. Lesson number 8. I've kind of touched on this before, but I'm just going to emphasize and, expatiate. Lesson number 8 is that different phases will impact your marriage. Don't disgrace or embarrass each other. Cover each other. It is wisdom. Yeah. Different phases will impact your marriage. Don't embarrass each other. Don't disgrace each other because of that. And this is very important. Someone said this. My lovely sister and in-law, she has this marriage community, Marriage Made in Heaven, and I attended one of their webinars one day, and she said that she used this illustration that I really love. She said your husband is like your crown as a woman, and imagine you going out, imagine you taking off your crown and rubbing it in the mud, and then you want to pick that same crown and put it back on your head. The mud is going to come down on from your head, and it's going to stain your face, go down to the rest of your body. It's going to bring you shame invariably. The point is, if you think that you're embarrassing your crown or disgracing it, it also has a way of rubbing off on you. So whatever phase your marriage is going through, try as much as possible to not embarrass each other, not disgrace each other. Try as much as possible to cover each other. There's this example that I would use. Some of these celebrities that they've had really nasty divorce, that they came on social media and said a lot of things. It didn't really help their marriage. Everybody just had an opinion on their marriage or their divorce or their separation or whatever it is. But those who kept mute, that we did not know anything that happened, you will just speculate and speculate and speculate. Whatever it is, you do not know. And you still have some kind of respect for both of them. Yeah. Little man has come back into the picture. But anyways, I'll just wrap this up. Right. So you need to just cover each other in the different phases of your marriage. There's the phase of plenty. There's the phase where you would have children. There's the phase where you would have more than enough. There's the phase where you would have people put their mouth in your marriage, or not necessarily put their mouth, but people be more involved in your marriage. There's different phases. Just make sure that you don't embarrass each other or disgrace each other. You are together in this, okay? And then the last point, the last lesson I've learned is to have fun with it. Find joy in your everyday life. Some people don't have what you have. Be happy. And this is also a very important lesson I've learned. Enjoy your everyday life with your husband, with your wife. Don't wait till you people have something, or you people achieve something, or you people go somewhere. Have fun with your marriage. Enjoy it. Be playful. Have fun, basically. I don't know how else to say you should have fun, but enjoy your everyday life. Your marriage is supposed to be you know, a good place. Like, I don't know how else to say, but just enjoy your marriage, enjoy your union, enjoy having kids, enjoy not having yet, or whatever. Just make sure you're having fun and you're enjoying your marriage. That's one thing that, you know, I love about my marriage. Yeah. And yeah, those are the 9 points. I wish I could elaborate and go, you know, in depth into all of these lessons, but that's all I can do for today. As you can see, little man is here and wants to be involved, and I am already exhausted. Just one video today. But yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comment section, what have you learned in your years, your many years of marriage, or your few years in marriage? Or what is one thing that you are taking away from this video as a single person? Let me know. No, little man. Let me know. Yeah. Tell everybody to please subscribe to your mommy's channel. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and turn on your bell notification so you stay up to date. And what else? Share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you enjoyed. Isn't that in it? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Say bye, guys. Bye, guys. You all are amazing and I love you. Bye.